the budget date is out, the 23rd of July. That's what we're keeping an eye on. So 2 weeks out, we are in fact going to see the finance minister present the final budget for the upcoming year. Of course, there are plenty of things to keep an eye on out there. Fiscal deficit, along with what potential taxation changes that we can expect. Well, we also have Tamanna now here with us. Tamanna, what are we watching out for?
Yeah, so this is going to be a big one for the simple reason that if you look at three statements, one that Prime Minister Modi made when he took on his third term, Finance Minister has made in Parliament, and the President has made during the President's address. They've all referred to historical steps that will be taken. In fact, Draupadi Murmu, the President, has talked specifically about historical steps that will be taken in this budget. So first, just some context setting. It's the first budget one of 3.0 of the Modi government. Historical 7th consecutive budget for Nirmala Sitharaman. No other finance minister in the history of India has done 7 budgets in a row. So that's a big one. Also, remember, since it's the first budget of this term, it's the time when you set the context, right?
Right.
So a lot of it will be what you will do to get to Viksit Bharat. There will be a lot of, you know, big moves that they'd want to start right off the bat.
Absolutely.
And set the roadmap for the next 5 years. Now, having said that, what is the street watching for? One is that how does the finance minister and the government spend that 2.1 lakh crore bonanza that they got from the Reserve Bank of India before the election result? So what are you going to do with it? Does your fiscal deficit target now come down? Remember, it was 5.1% in the interim budget. There's an ICRA report which is saying it could be even 4.9 to 5%. That would be a big upside for the market because then, you know, you've decided to use that money prudently to reduce your fiscal deficit instead of financial profitability or a lot of spending. There could be quite a bit of focus on improving consumption. The question is how? Do you cut taxes? Do you increase the basic tax slab? Do you sweeten the new tax regime further? All of those things will be seen if there is space for them. I think also what happens with the PM Kisan Nidhi Samman, because that is also a promise which was made, remember, in the election rallies, that what is given right now to farmers as 6,000 rupees a quarter will be increased to 9,000 rupees. That's a promise that was made by the Prime Minister in election rallies. This could be the time when it is rolled out. It would be a boost for rural consumption. I reckon, Agam, even the PLI schemes, you know, are you expanding them? Because you want to work on jobs, you want to work on manufacturing. Remember, this is also the budget where you're going to be sending out a message after a mandate which was not quite what the BJP wanted.
Absolutely, yes.
It was not a, you know, photo finish, perfect kind of a mandate. Coming to that point, there are reports that the TDP, their biggest ally, wants a huge pound of flesh and an allocation for Andhra Pradesh. It could be as much as 100,000 crores, is what Bloomberg reported actually last week. Does that happen? That would be a big signal that are you now giving in to allies or are you standing firm?
You know, back in April, the Prime Minister had indicated that once the elections are out of the way, you're going to have big bang decisions immediately after the outcome of the elections. We've had a handful of very large cabinet decisions which are already made that will come through. And you made a note and mention of what potentially could pan out for Andhra Pradesh and what the allies could potentially need. But in general, you wouldn't be expecting too much of a deviation in terms of the big bang, changes that they in fact do want to bring about.
No, more of the same. Directionally, more of the same. Because look at from the first day of term 3, the message has been continuity and stability. You have the same ministers, the same cabinet.
Absolutely.
So more of the same will definitely be there. So which is why I'm saying things like PLI scheme, it's worked before, it could be expanded. Things like that could come in. I would be very keen to watch the capex figure as well. Does the finance minister stick to it? Does she increase it significantly? And all of your sectors, your rail, defense, etc., all of them will be in focus ahead of the
What
budget.
do you think the markets should be nervous about? Would it be about taxation?
I think the ever increasing nervousness will be about whether there will be some kind of diktat on F&O trading. That is definitely on the back of the mind.
Yes.
I think we are seeing all the smoke signals on it
Yep.
from everything that the SEBI chief is saying. No one in government or any of these institutions seems very excited about the kind of volumes we're seeing in derivatives.
Right.
And I reckon you would know the buzz on that, Agam, that there must be some fear right now about whether there will be some policy direction. I think from the market's point of view, anything on taxation would be the big downside more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, SEBI's already brought out some changes, and it has had, or rather it should have some impact on broking costs as far as F&O is concerned, but we're going to have to wait and watch.
Yeah, but do you do something to dissuade the retail investor from betting so heavily on derivatives is my question. Do you see some kind of a sign there?
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's one of those big factors that we are going to keep an eye on. But Tamanna, thank you so much for taking us through what we can in fact expect from the budget and all the factors that we can keep an eye on.